Yesterday, I announced we were going to have 7-minute rounds of discussion. We cut that back to 5 because of the 2-hour rule, so each member will have 7 minutes. Mr. Browder, in your written statement, you said that the Russian lawyer who met with Trump campaign officials had hired Glenn Simpson of Fusion GPS through the law firm of Baker Hostler to conduct a smear campaign against you and Mr. Magnitsky. You said that Simpson contacted a number of major newspapers to spread false information. Mr. Simpson told the media he only did some research as litigation support. Propaganda and publicity work for a foreign principal requires registration as a foreign agent, so it's important to understand whether Mr. Simpson was pushing negative information about you in the media. So I have several questions along this line. Could you explain exactly how Mr. Simpson manipulated the media to smear you and undermine the Magnitsky Act, and how do you know about that?
So yes, so Glenn Simpson was calling a number of journalists, pitching a story to the journalists as the Magnitsky Act was being debated in Congress. The story that he was pitching was that Sergei Magnitsky had not been murdered, but he died of natural causes, that Sergei Magnitsky wasn't a whistleblower, that he was a criminal, and that the story that I had told the U.S. Congress was incorrect about Magnitsky, and therefore the Magnitsky Act should be repealed. Yeah. That was the story he was pitching. I know that he was pitching that story because a number of journalists who were pitched by him came to me to ask me about it. He was unsuccessful for the most part in getting that story written, but that doesn't take away from the fact that he was trying to get that story published. And that is not litigation support. It's impossible for me to see how it could be litigation support, because had those stories been written and during the litigation that he was supposed to be supporting, any juror who had read those stories would have been disqualified from being on the jury. And so that could only have been for the purpose of manipulating and trying to change legislation here in Washington.